So you're looking to buy that next power amplifier, that next preamplifier or loudspeaker, but you are so confused with so many options readily available to you. This is why I've created my website, jaysaudiolab.com. If you become a member of my website, I am going to give you my recommendations on the best amplifiers, preamplifiers, loudspeakers, and other things, so that you don't have to do what I do. Also, brands that I think you should stay away from. For all you know, right now, at this very moment, you are getting ready to wire money to your dealer, to your buddies, to buy a component that I simply feel is not worth the asking price. Maybe you're sending money to buy a brand that I probably already mentioned on my members only section as one of the brands that you should stay away from. This is why it's important that you stay as close as possible to me, because I'm going to give you information that unfortunately is not for the YouTube space. If you care to protect your investment and not be ripped off by buying the wrong components and doing the buying and trying that oftentimes leads to thousands of dollars in losses, I urge you to become a member of my website, jaysaudiolab.com. Promise you it's well worth the asking price. In addition to that, I have a lot of ultra high-end audio equipment for sale. There is always something for you to check out and perhaps purchase from me. Please be sure to check out my website, jaysaudiolab.com. Anyway, 2024 has been an amazing year. And I want to preface this video by bringing up the biggest things that I remember occurred during 2024. One of these things, of course, was the acquisition of Macintosh Group by Bose. To be honest with you, I wasn't really shocked by the news. We see this all the time in the car industry. I would love to see far more quality products to be developed by Bose and Macintosh. I would love to see how Bose can bring their expertise and create perhaps new valuable products through the Macintosh brand, because ultimately, remember, it is a luxury brand, right? Being acquired by a brand that's not luxury, in this case, Bose. But Bose has the deep pockets, the money to pump into this Macintosh brand and Sonos Fabric and really elevate it to heights that they probably couldn't do on their own. With that said, I will be very, very honest about something. I had placed an order for the Macintosh 2.1 kWs right before the news broke out. I think I bought the amplifiers. I think I put a deposit on those amplifiers maybe about 2 weeks before the news broke out about Bose acquiring Macintosh. And as soon as I heard it, I went ahead and canceled my order. And here's why. This is why this video is so valuable, okay? I need to see what happens with this acquisition. I need to see where this is headed in 2025 with Macintosh. I didn't feel like buying a set of $100,000 Macintosh amplifiers without knowing how that impacts the secondhand market, how that impacts resale values, how that impacts the perception of the brand, the desirability of the brand, and just wait and see what happens. Because right now, it doesn't make sense for anyone, in my opinion, to buy anything from Macintosh, okay? I don't think personally it is a great investment until we see what happens. Another thing that occurred was, unfortunately, the bad news that happened with regards to a boutique brand from Switzerland, Daril. I made a video about this way back, maybe about a few months ago, and essentially you saw what Daril is going through. According to some industry insiders, Daril is going through some financial difficulties. They are supposed to be paying back the Swiss government a loan that was granted to a lot of different manufacturers in order to help them through the difficult times, through COVID, to be specific. There is rumor out and about that Daril can't pay, or they're having a difficult time selling their top elite products. As you know, Daril is not necessarily an affordable brand. For example, the $290,000 468 monoblocks, as well as the line stage that I had here at one point. So they do sell very expensive stuff. My problem with it is, if you see their website, it's still leaving us with a lot of unanswered questions. Not much more information was given. There hasn't been any announcements. Also, the secondhand market is not looking that great for Daril. You have their $270,000 monoblocks being sold for under 100 grand, and there are no takers. That just shows you right now the fear that a lot of these buyers have with regards to Daril. I feel like it probably isn't the right time, in my opinion, to buy any Daril product. Remember, if you decide to buy a secondhand Daril product, right, and things don't look that great in 2025 for the brand, you watching me, that buyer of this product, is going to take the financial beating. You are going to take the financial hit by buying something that right now has left us with a lot of unanswered questions. Okay, so now let's get started and talk about 2024 and my top picks for this year. When it comes to amplifiers, it should be absolutely no secret by now that the best amplifier of the year, the best amplifier award of the year for me, is none other than my Griffin Apex monoblocks. With an MSRP of $210,000, the Apex monoblocks leave absolutely nothing on the table when it comes to performance. These amplifiers have the speed, they have the musicality, liquidity, control, they're nimble, they have clarity, they do everything that you can possibly ask from a power amplifier. The only thing that they do not do is look very small in your living room or dedicated room and run cold to the touch. They are Class A amplifier, folks. These amplifiers are not going to be the amplifiers that will hide in the corner. No matter where you place them, a lot of eyeballs will be on these amplifiers. I feel that Griffin right now has the upper hand when it comes to elite amplification. And the reason why I say that is because, number one, they are the only amplifier brand that provides us with aftermarket power cords, upgraded power cords, if you will. Griffin includes Vanta series power cords on these amplifiers, not the rest of the amplifier lineup, just the Apex. And in addition to that, personal opinion, yes, subjective, they are the best looking big amplifiers that I have ever seen. Way prettier than many other big amplifiers out there. Getting back to the performance, it is completely unquestionable. The coolest thing about owning the Griffin Apex monoblocks is the fact that every time you listen to your system through these amplifiers, you will never question the need for better amplification. You'll never question the need for more power or anything that has to do with amplifiers, period. All right, so the next category is an interesting category, and that is preamplifiers. Yes, my preamplifiers of this year have been the Griffin Commander, also the Solution 727, which was recently released, and the CH Precision L10 preamplifier. All of them are tremendous preamplifiers with a lot of great qualities. Let me just say the reason why I think it's not fair for me to include the Griffin Commander as part of this conversation. And that is because I've only used the Griffin Commander through my Griffin Apex monoblocks. So clearly the Griffin Commander is going to have the synergy that makes it sound really special with the Apex monoblocks. So instead, what I'm going to do is just give you my top pick between the Solution 727 and the CH Precision L10. And my top pick is, without a doubt, the Solution 727. The Solution 727 is not only vastly superior to the 725, which I've owned, I've had it in here, okay, but the Solution 727 sounds more liquid than the L10 from CH Precision. The 727 also had the same level of clarity as the L10 CH Precision did, but it did it just with one chassis, one power cord. It doesn't take two shelves. It doesn't really require a lot from you. It's almost a plug and play design. One power cord, straight into the wall, okay, and push play. What I did definitely disliked about the 727, okay, although it is my top pick, my best preamplifier of 2024, it doesn't come without any imperfections, and that is the shitty remote control. Yes, it is a load of crap when it comes to this preamplifier. I am actually so sad to see that Solution is using this crappy remote control that looks as if it's coming out of a Happy Meal from McDonald's, okay? It is such a shame that this phenomenal preamplifier doesn't come with a better remote control. I expect something made out of aluminum. I expect something like what Boulder shows us with their 2110. This is just surprising that a Swiss brand, which are known to be meticulous and to be so careful and so detail-oriented with their products, hasn't really paid any attention to the remote control. Okay, in addition to that, I don't like the fact that the 727 does not allow for you to do input level matches, meaning you can't really add gain to each input individually in order to bring them to the same volume level. As you know, your turntable usually has more gain than your DAC, and so when you're going from input 1 to input 2, it would be nice to have the ability to level match, volume level match both inputs, right? You can't really do that with the 727, so that's something that I don't know why they don't include. It can't be that difficult to include it. For all I know, it's a software update. Who knows? But Solution, I think you dropped the ball with those two particular things. Also, the 727 has a lot of speed. It's very clear sounding, incredible separation. This switching power supply is something special, I gotta say. It is so quick, so lightning fast, and it has this immediacy to the music that is intoxicating. Everything else that I heard through my system oftentimes sounded slower in comparison to the 727 Solution preamplifier. The third category belongs to loudspeakers. And as you know, this year I've had some tremendous loudspeakers. You've seen the Chronosonic XVXs. You have seen my Sonos Faber SE17s, as well as the speakers right here, Magico Q7 MK2s. All of them are phenomenal loudspeakers. And I can assure you, if you buy either one of these speakers, you're in for a treat. They are phenomenal, phenomenal loudspeakers that anyone watching me would be happy to retire with. But I can only choose one speaker as the speaker of the year, and that goes to my Sonos Faber SE17. The reason why I give it to the Sonos Faber SE17 is because the SE17 is a very musical speaker. You plop it, plug your amplifiers, push play, and you're gonna get a musical presentation without even trying. Never did I have any headaches, frustrations with the speakers, lack of bass, lack of soundstage, lack of depth, never. Sonos Faber just worked every single time. It was always ready to deliver a beautiful, romantic presentation. In addition to that, of course, the looks are like musical instruments, fine leather, fine wood. It's just a beautiful design, a beautiful Italian design that would look amazing in any type of living room or dedicated space. The Sonos Faber SE17 is that speaker that you buy and you simply sit down and relax with. It isn't a speaker that will punish you for not necessarily using the best DACs, the best cables, the best of anything. Yes, of course, it's going to sound better if you up your game when it comes to the associated equipment. It certainly will pay dividends, but it doesn't force you to do that. It's a speaker that will just sound enchanting no matter what you play through it. It is not a perfect speaker, don't get me wrong. It has its flaws. It's a speaker that's very heavy. You're going to need someone to help you to position it all the time. It's a speaker also that, in my opinion, needs space around it. I dare to say that maybe even my room was not as big as it probably needed to be in order to hear the speaker spread its wings. It's not the speaker that will completely dissect the music the way some of you analytical minds out there love to do. So if you're looking for a speaker that is an X-ray machine, the Sonos Faber SE17 is not your speaker. It isn't for you. I don't recommend it if that's how you are. Now, the next category is the most transformational component of 2024. What does that even mean? What does that even mean, right? Well, what that means is essentially which component has blown me away when I consider the price for which it can be had, the sound, performance, and every single aspect of the presentation that this particular product delivers. And that award, in my opinion, belongs to none other than the magical Q7 right here. The magical Q7 retired in 2017 for no apparent reason other than the fact that audiophiles were asking for the next item, the next product, the next model. But I can tell you that for the money, this has been the most transformational and not the most expensive speaker that I have owned in 2024. As a matter of fact, this has been the cheapest speaker that I have bought in 2024. Less than the money that I paid for the XVX Chronosonics and less money than what I paid for the Sonos Faber SE17. So that in itself definitely earns this award as the most transformational component in 2024. And that brings me to the most disappointing component in 2024. Yes, and I know all of you watch me love to see plane crashes. You all don't care about plane landings. I've said it a million times. So this particular category has to do with that component that simply let me down in 2024. Before I say what it is, I gotta make sure I preface this by saying that this is, in my room, my personal experience, and based on my own trials. Your experience with this product may be different, which is fine. So remember, this is one man's point of view. And that award of the most disappointing product in 2024 goes to the Shunyata Altera grounding hub. Yes, when I had this hub in here, and let me tell you, I tried everything you can imagine. The upgraded ground cables that they sell you. I placed it on top of my rack to isolate it from any sort of vibration. I connected components, my amps, my preamps, my turntable at the time when I had it in here. I did everything you can imagine to accommodate it and make it sound good. And unfortunately, the results were always the same. And what am I talking about? Well, the presentation to me lost soul. It lost this richness to it. I felt the sound drier. I definitely heard more information in the back. A lot more details popped off the speakers that were not so apparent prior to inserting this component. But holistically, as I kept listening to the system for weeks, I just was not in love with what I was hearing. I just wasn't feeling it. That's all I'm saying. I just was not feeling it at all. Didn't like it. Okay? But that doesn't mean that because I didn't like it, that you will not have great results in your own systems. As a matter of fact, if you have it and you've had nothing but great results, please share that with us in the comment section. Let me know. Have you had great results with this box? Tell us which one you bought. Tell us the grounding cables you bought. How did you connect it? I'm curious to know. I just simply didn't like it. All right, so 2024 is finally behind us. And looking ahead, I am in position to tell you the new opportunities that are going to come in 2025. And in 2025, you will finally see for the first time on this channel another American brand, loudspeaker brand, and that is Von Schreiker speakers. Get ready, because we are bringing yet another American loudspeaker into the lab, a brand that I have never explored, but I am excited to bring it to you front and center and connect all of my madness to it and see what kind of results we get. And I'm also going to be talking about a component that's making a lot of noise. Griffin Power Zone. This component right here is making a ton of noise in the audiophile community. This is supposed to be absolutely transformational. And we're definitely going to put it through the motions. We're definitely going to see what this piece is all about. I hope you guys are as excited as I am for 2025, because I promise you, I'm going to keep bringing you cool components from the best brands around the globe. Thank you for your support, and I'll see you in 2025. Peace.